Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Goalpost. I'm your host, Oluwamayawa. I'm not alone. I'm not flying solo. I have Solomon and Collins making a return this morning. Um, Collins, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Mario. I'm doing fine. How was your weekend?
Well, a lot of football to talk about. The biggest game of the weekend happened, and I think according to Solomon, it was a one-way streak, and it happened that way. Solomon, good morning. How you doing? I can see that you are
Good morning.
smiling.
Good morning, Collins. Good to be here once again.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for
yeah.
having me.
And well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of football to talk about. However, as usual, we start from the home front. Um, there has been a whole lot of speculation as regards Osimhen. A whole lot of people has been talking in terms of him going to another club and the rest of that because of his performance and stuff like that. However, um, you know, he has had a whole lot of issues in terms of his attitude. A lot of people who had complained about his attitude, and probably maybe that's the reason why clubs are running away from him at the moment. Solomon, can you adjust a bit? Your head is cut off here. Can maybe shift backward a bit? Just shift back a bit. Okay, is there a way you can adjust your camera a bit? Your head is. I'm just seeing your head.
Okay. This is better.
No, I'm still seeing your head. Just your head. I'm just seeing only your head. Uh, Nah, it's still okay. Don't worry. Let me see. Just hold on. Let me see. Okay, this is better. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I will do this then. Don't worry. Just hold on. Okay, yeah. Like I was saying, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding him, and like Osimhen is one of the best strikers. However, a lot of people have been talking. A lot of people have been talking about him. Reports have it that former Super Eagles midfielder Ogenye Nazi has said something about Victor Osimhen. Same goes for um, Benny McCarthy. Former Eagles midfielder Ogenye Nazi has criticized Manchester United for failing to sign Galatasaray forward Osimhen. The former Lazio midfielder insisted that the club concern over African Cup of Nations is not a valid justification. Onazi was reacting to recent comment by former United first team coach Benny McCarthy, who disclosed that Osimhen was removed from the club's transfer shortlist largely because of fear of being unavailable during the Nations Cup. Quoting McCarthy now, if you spend £100 million on a player, you don't want to lose him for AFCON. I think he would have been very successful there, but AFCON was a big stumbling block. Losing him for so many important matches, the team suffers not having the main striker there. McCarthy said, as quoted by the podcast he was on. So the decision was made. Literally, a big part was because of the Nations Cup. Victor Osimhen's name got scratched off, not a player interest because of that. I mean, I do not understand this controversy about the Nations Cup. As far as I'm concerned, the Nations Cup is one of the biggest tournaments in Africa, and I don't understand the reason why big clubs will come out and say they are not signing a player. They are not signing a player because of Nations Cup. I mean, we have a Liverpool side that has you know 3, 4 African players, and they still make do with what you have. So what do you make of these things coming out that Manchester United decided to can Osimhen because of the Nations Cup? Call it.
Okay. When I saw the news, I was like, I'm going to paint a scenario now. When you maybe you wrote a test, right? You wrote a test and you're expecting to pass and maybe move to the next stage or something like that. Then you got this email that you got your results, and what they wrote is that um while we are sorry to announce to you that you couldn't make it to the next stage, you didn't pass the test, but we're impressed, you understand, we're happy with your performance, you understand, we're glad with the way you perform, that kind of thing, that kind of consolation message, that kind of reassuring message that usually follows after a disappointing news, you understand. I think that's what Benny McCarthy did with the because there was this hype. He also said, you understand, he didn't just give the reason why um Manchester United didn't go for Osimhen. He also gave this hype, you understand, as they always do. You understand? Whenever you hear a big name, a punter, a pundit, you understand, if football journalist or somebody, a coach or something, talk about Osimhen and why they didn't go for him, there's always the hype before the reason. You understand? The hype is always there because everybody knows what he can do. Everybody is well aware of his talents. You understand? So, like on as they said, they flips the excuse. You understand? That's the most that's the most that's the excuse that doesn't make sense. I've heard in a while. What do you mean Afcon last? You understand? You are signing him. He's a long term signing. You understand? It's not like he's coming to play for weeks. He's not a freelancer. You understand? He's your player. You understand? So that sorry, that excuse doesn't make sense. You understand? So another say it all. I feel like the main reason why they didn't sign Oshime, he didn't want to mention maybe his attitude or something like that. You understand? All these teams are noticing these things. All these teams are seeing that the kind of player he is. You understand? So they will make up one or two reasons why they can't go for him. You understand? Um, Atletico Madrid now. Atletico Madrid. I saw Atletico Madrid have interest in him. You understand? But Atletico Madrid are saying that their wage structure, which is okay. You understand? Atletico Madrid they have a wage structure over there, right? You understand? Before they sign you, they have to make sure that you are complying with a lot of things. And when you are coming in, your salary, you understand, falls within their wage structure. You understand? So things like this will give you one or two reasons. Will give you one or two reasons why.
Yeah, go ahead, can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes,
Can hear
sir.
you.
Okay, things like this will give you one or two out of point reasons why they will not sign you. Meanwhile, we all know the reason. We all know the elephant in the room. Understand? We know the elephant in the room, so it doesn't. It's a no brainer, right? It's a no brainer. When I saw the news, I wanted to see the reason. I saw the reason. I just clicked and I left because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. There's no way you tell me because of AFCON how long is AFCON forever. You tell me you miss out on a player like Ushime because of AFCON as how? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Tell us, we are big boys. Tell us the main reason why you are doing this. You understand?
Okay, and that. Okay, okay. That's that. That. That.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, Solomon. Um, there has been a whole lot of controversy surrounding Victor Osimhen's signing. What do you make of this particular news?
I quite agree with Collins when he says, you know what, it's a silly reason to say that we are missing out on the player of Osimhen's quality, the type of caliber of play, the caliber of player that he is, the quality that he brings to the team, and you say that you are missing out on him simply because of a tournament that wouldn't even last the whole of January. It doesn't even last the whole of January, right? And even PSG had to be without Akraf Hakimi as important as he is to the team, right? We have the likes of Hannibal that left Burnley to go for Tunisia. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have Sadio Mane. We can go on and on about the quality of African players that play in other clubs, and none of them gave this reason. Although we all know that over the years teams have come out to say that the period in which the AFCON is played is detrimental to the running of the title because it's the second half of the season. And if I'm not mistaken, I think CAF has actually changed the duration of the tournament, ensuring that it comes after the end of every season now. If I'm not mistaken, I think that has been the period for the tournament has been restructured. So again, there is no gainsaying that what Benny McCarthy has come out to say is absolutely silly. It does not hold water to say that that's the excuse for not lashing on to a player of Osimhen's quality. And again, people talk about Osimhen's attitude. And if you've ever played the game of football, even if your best friend is on the pitch and your best friend plays absolute rubbish, you would speak to your best friend in a tone that might not necessarily be cool at that point in time. I do not see why people now come out and try to say things against his quote unquote attitude. This is someone that is as passionate as anyone on the field of play, right? We've seen it happen over time. Declan Rice, just in I think last match or last two matches, spoke to Iberichi Eze in a way that was not so, that was not so cool, at least judging by the footage that we see. But this is what is expected of every player at that top level. If you are going to play very well, or if you are going to get anything in terms of trophy, in terms of qualifying for the next round of competitions, you have to perform at a higher level. And if that is not done, it is just normal. It is expected that your players will talk to you if you do not play as expected. It's just normal. A Cristiano Ronaldo in a Manchester United team had the likes of Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, and those top players who would speak to him. Nobody was saying anything. I think that, and I think that maybe because we are now in the era of social media, and everybody claims that we have to be emotionally intelligent, and mental health and all of those things. People try to water down the passion that is needed to play the game of football, and then you might say that, oh, okay, Osimhen's attitude can come out as overbearing, but this is exactly what is expected of every top professional. So again, I do not think that the reason that Benny McCarthy gave is actually true. Is actually true as to why they did not get Victor Osimhen in January.
Okay, that's fantastic. Moving on, we are still sticking to Super Eagles. A whole lot of things happening around our Super Eagles player. Tochukwu Nadi, this concerns Tochukwu Nadi, who currently plays for Marseille. If you all know, Marseille just hired Habib Baye, the former Senegalese international, as their new coach, and the coach has come out to say, has shared his first surprising impression of Super Eagles star Tochukwu Nadi. Marseille head coach Abibaye has admitted that he's impressed with Super Eagles midfielder Tochukwu Nadi since taking the reins at the club. Nadi completed a £6 million move from Belgian side Zuid Waregem to Marseille. The 22-year-old defensive midfielder has seen a meteoric rise over the past 2 years, with the move to Stadio Velodrome making a significant milestone in his career. However, since his arrival, Nadi is yet to play a single minute for the club. He has struggled to even make the matchday bench in 4 games he has been available for. Despite training constantly with the first team squad, last week expectations were high that he would at least be named as a substitute after being included in the preliminary squad. His subsequent absence from the final team sheet fueled concern regarding his future at the club, particularly following the sacking of Roberto De Zerbi and the appointment of Baye. His exclusion from the Brest fixture only exhibited despair. However, the French tactician has now cleared the air regarding Nadi's standing in his team. I mean, if you would ask me, I would say probably maybe Abibaye is trying to be political. He doesn't want to come out to say, you are surplus retirement. Remember, Nadi joined Marseille under De Zerbi, and now De Zerbi is no more. Is it that Onadi does not fit into the plan of Abibaye? That's the reason why he's being frozen out of the team. We saw what happened to Santos Suche in Crystal Palace. He made the move, and now he has not played any single game for them. He has been sitting on the bench. Solomon, what do you think about this?
Okay, first off, I do not think that a player of Nadi's quality, you know, he's not supposed to be surprised by the attitude. Because again, as I said, this is as I said earlier that when you get to a level in professional football, there is so much that is expected of you, right? In terms of not just on the field of play, but off the field of play as well. The attitude, the character, the mindset, you know. Same can be said of a Christian Nogard who has played just about 4 or 5 matches in the English Premier League for Arsenal, and I don't think he has even started any in the English Premier League for Arsenal. And this is someone who has played over 200 games for right. So coming back to Tochukwu Nandi now, if he was not good enough, he would not have made the AFCON list. This is a bronze medal winner of the African Cup of Nations. He's like saying someone who came third in the Europe nations. I don't think they do that in Euro, anyways. But it's like saying someone who comes third, you know, in a top tournament like the AFCON does not have the quality to be able to start the game or does not have the quality to be able to come on in the middle of the game, right? So I just think that he needs to find a way to adjust to the system at Olympic Marseille, right? He just needs to find a way to adjust the system at Olympic Marseille. He's a new player, he's just coming in. There's still a whole lot to learn. There's still a whole lot for him to do, in terms of his growth, in terms of his capacity and all of that. So I do not think that he would not fit into the system. I do not think he will not fit into the system. I just think that he needs to find, his feet. He needs to adjust to the system in Olympic Marseille.
Okay, that's fantastic. Collins, I mean, Inadi came in and he'll be competing for a position with Emily Højbjerg. Remember the Emily Højbjerg that plays for Tottenham Hotspur is currently in that particular club. And Emily Højbjerg has been able to establish himself. He has been there for over 2 years now. And there's an Inadi that is coming. Inadi is just 22. Højbjerg is about 29 or 30. And probably since maybe the experience is what, Abib Baye is looking at in terms of maybe Nadi still has a lot of years ahead of him. Do you think Nadi has what it takes to be able to displace Højbjerg and be the number one starting in that particular position?
No,
Why do you
that's
say that?
just. I think it's pretty obvious. He doesn't have the experience. You just mentioned experience. He doesn't have the experience, and Hojberg, and he Hojberg, that be Hojberg, whatever his name is. There's J in his name, so it should be Hojberg. So experience. I don't even need to go into more details about it. He doesn't have what it takes to do this. I don't think is there anything like displacing him. How about them playing together? You understand? I mean, you're looking at displacement. I'm looking at a pivot. You understand? I'm looking at a joint partnership in that midfield between two of them. You understand? Depends on whatever um 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 formation they are using. Okay. This is yesterday was Abib's first game with Marcel, right?
No,
And they won.
yeah, go ahead.
Yesterday was their first game with Marcel, right? His first game with Marcel.
No, that it was not. I think that will be his second or third game.
Is is he up to third?
Yeah, I think that will be the third game. Since he joined, last week they played against Brest. Inadi was on the provisional list, but he didn't get to play.
Okay. According to what the coach said that he was late. You understand? Because people were asking why Inadi wasn't in the squad selection, and he was like he just got to this team. You understand? And 48 hours after, he has to like pick a team. You understand? And the reason was that he was too late to what make his selection and add Inadi to the list. You understand? Saying all this and praising Inadi, giving all this the praise he had for Inadi was not they were not jokes, you understand. He had high praise for this player because he watched him in training, you understand. He has seen him do drills, you understand. So he knows what he's capable of. And we saw Unadi got rewarded yesterday. He made his debut yesterday and Marcel won 3-2, you understand. He made his debut yesterday. He came from the bench, you understand. And so yesterday was his debut in how many games? And that was good, right? Because Abib already promised that with time you get to see Nadi. You understand? Because you can't talk so highly of a player and end up not playing you. You understand? Talk highly of a player and still bench him. You understand? That's just whitewashing. You understand? So when you talk highly of a player like that, you show results. I think we'll be seeing more of him. You understand? Because he made the debut yesterday, and we'll see more of him to come. You understand? He's a very promising player. You understand? But does he have what it takes to display something at the moment? No, he doesn't. You understand? So he has to build up experience. He has to build up his adaptation. Like Solomon said, you have to adapt. You understand? You have to learn how to adapt. And with these things, maybe we'll get to see him please more minutes. You understand? But at the moment, no, he has left me there. Thank you.
Okay, that's fantastic. Then, still sticking to Nigeria, a whole lot is happening to, Nigerian players. There's a particular Iwobi who plays in Fulham. He has been in scintillating form. He even scored yesterday one of the, well, a lot of people say it will not be the goal of the season. But in any case, Alex Iwobi's strike against Paul fires Fulham closer to European dream. Super Eagles and Fulham midfielder Alex Iwobi has taken his side a step further in their hunt for European football by scoring a goal against Tottenham. Marco Silva's men have been on a winning run since their 3-0 loss to Man City 2 weeks ago, and today's win confirmed the Cottages had 9 points from their last 3 games. Spurs didn't have a good start to life under Igor Tudor, losing 4-1 to Arsenal in the North London derby last week. Iwobi goal propels Fulham. Harry Wilson broke the deadlock in the 7th minute, volleying the ball into the back of the net after Ryan Sessegnon's cross was deflected, bringing his season tally to 9 goals, his ever best season in the English top flight. The Welshman turned provider for Alex Iwobi 4 minutes after the 30 minutes mark. A quick exchange of passes freed the Nigerian on the edge of Tottenham box, but he still had a lot of work to do before making anything of the pass. Iwobi opted to side foot the ball beyond Vicario to score his fourth league goal this season, a goal in consecutive games. I mean, Iwobi has been scoring with reckless abandon. Um, you know, he's bringing the form we saw in the Nations Cup, bringing it back to his club. Do you think, with the kind of performance we are seeing from Iwobi, do you think Fulham will be able to nail down, an European spot? I mean, in the last 3 games, after the loss against Man City, they've done 3 out of 3. Call it.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I think I mentioned last week that Fulham are very impressive. They they are just I checked the table and Fulham are just 3 points behind us. And this is a team that were like I at least 7 points ahead of before. Now we have a lot of competition that are coming to either we are battling with the likes of Aston Villa, Man City, and Manchester United. Now we are battling with the likes of Brentford, Fulham, and other teams I'm not even familiar with. And that's disappointing, right? That's disappointing. But yeah, that's impressive. Marco Silva has been impressive with Fulham, and it will be too. You understand? He's a brilliant player. I've always liked it. I see them nailing the European sports. You get I see them nailing the European sports because they've been really impressive. They know how to get results. They know how to get results. They know how to show up. They know how to get the job done. And um, I'm not going to downplay their win because they just won Tottenham. I know I've always been hammering on this Tottenham side. They are terrible. So I'm not still downplaying. I'm not going to downplay their win. Their win was I watched the match to an extent, and they 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 were more intentional about scoring than Tottenham. You understand? Tottenham are just there. They are just the team that they are just there. Come on. That's nice. That's nice. But Iwobi is not really in the form of his life as Iwobi. I know Iwobi is the player that Iwobi is the Iwobi. He plays like he gets treated like Adama Traore. You understand? What do I mean? Adama Traore is the kind of player that people will be hyping him. You understand? People will be hyping him. He's really strong guy. You understand? Like back in those days when it was a really strong guy. You understand? He knows how to beat defense. He knows how to push pace. He knows how to do everything except what? Except convert opportunities to goal. You understand? Except finish finish chances. You understand? Except score goals, except create goals. You understand? And I'm going to liken Iwobi to Adama Traore in that sense. You understand? Iwobi what I know that Iwobi is perfect doing is creativity in midfield. You understand? Iwobi is a very intelligent player. You understand? He knows how to think quickly. You understand? Not every player knows how to think quickly. You understand? You see a tight situation where you have two players are coming to mark you. You understand? Two players are trying to counter press you. Iwobi is the kind of player that reads the situation, knows the right path to throw, knows the perfect way to get out of that situation. You understand? And I'm giving him credit for that. But there are other aspects of his game that I need to see improvements. He just has 4 goals this season with 3 assists. That's poor to me. I don't know about anybody, but that's poor to me. You understand? So that needs to improve. You understand? That needs to improve. You understand? So it will be right now. He's not in the form of his life. It's just there. Just cruising. You understand? Just cruising. Whenever I want to have a good game, he has a good game. And whenever I want to have a bad game, he makes sure it's not totally bad. You understand? And that's improvement. You understand? When a player wants to, at least if he wants to disappear from producing goals, at least he should impact somewhere. We should see your impact in midfield. We should see you making the right passes. We should see you completing your passes. We should see you completing your dribbles. You see you not losing possession in midfield or in final. You understand this kind of players, right? That's the kind of player. That's where he will be have developed his game, and that's maturity, and that's where I'm going to go. We don't just want well development, want all round development, right? So we still want to see he will be um move on, improving his game with finishing, creating chances and all of that. So yeah, that's what I have to say. So
Okay.
yeah, like I've already said, I've given credit to Marco Silva and Juan. What they have been doing is really impressive, and I see them here maybe cementing a European position. So maybe even if they don't nail European Conference League, maybe they can create another one for them in case they finish 11th European Conference, Europa something league. You understand? So that was a
Okay.
joke, man.
Okay. That's fantastic. So what do you make of this? It will be yes. Colin said it will be has not been in his form of his life. His contribution, yes, he creates the pass and the rest of that, but he wants to see more from Iwobi in terms of goal contribution and just of that. He has only scored 4 goals and he has about 3 assists. That's about 7 goal contribution in about 26, 27 games he has played this season. What do you make of the performance of Iwobi?
Yeah, first off, I like to say that I do not think I agree with, you know, the comparison between Alex Iwobi and Adama Traore, for instance. Adama Traore is not a starter in any club. There is not one club right
I
now.
need back then. I need back then at Wolves. I don't mean now. I don't mean now. I don't mean
Back
now.
then, even back then, our Wolves, he's not, bro. This is what I think, right? The type of player that Iwobi is, right? He went from Arsenal to Everton and now to Fulham. And these three teams, at every point in time, Iwobi is a starter. At every point in time, Iwobi is a starter. He gets into the team and starts. I mean, coming all the way from Arsenal into an Everton side, he started, came into Fulham, and I was also a starter. Now, yes, of course, I also genuinely believe that he can still go higher than what he's doing now. I definitely agree with that. With what we saw at the AFCON tournament, I think he's Nigeria's most capped player right now, if I'm not mistaken. He's
Yeah.
Nigeria's most capped player right now. He is always available, and that's the very good thing about Alex Iwobi. Availability is the best ability. Iwobi is always available. But in terms of his overall performance, yes, I genuinely agree that there's so much more that Iwobi can offer going forward because he has the likes of Harry Wilson, who has been phenomenal all season round. Harry Wilson is a fantastic bowler. He uses his right, he knows how to score goals, he knows how to get into the right positions, and Iwobi can take a leaf or two from Harry Wilson. But yes, I think that is actually, for instance, the goal that he scored yesterday, you definitely would not see that coming. Was it yesterday? You definitely would not see that coming. I mean, the way he kicks the ball, you would have thought that maybe he was even making a pass or something. But look at it nestled at the back of the net. So again, yes, his performance might not be top notch overall, and I also believe that he can also come up higher than what he's doing at the moment. But of course, we all know that his talent and his quality is never in doubt.